Hello and welcome back to the Blinking and Advanced Weeping Angel tutorial. Okay, so last episode, or I guess part 1, since this isn't an episodic thing, it's just a couple parts to do one. But anyway, on the last part, we set up a HUD with a slider bar to show how our eyes are doing, and a just black sheet, basically, that represents us blinking. And then we set up a variable for our character and de-incremented it with a timer to end up with this. Player's eye hydration going down. And you could actually have that dryness going up either way, and then blinking and resetting the eye dryness. Okay, we are going to make that last twice as long. 0.25 in our loop there. Whoops. That made it last half as long, so if we put it to 1 second, now it'll last twice as long. And I feel that is a much better pace, especially if you're already looking behind you to try to run away from things. And again, you can manually blink with spacebar. Longest blink ever, though. Okay, so now let's set up our enemy character, our Weeping Angel, or the creature that moves only when you're not looking at it. Okay, so we are going to right-click our player, and we are going to duplicate, and we're going to call this our monster. Okay. And we are going to delete everything. Okay. So, what we are going to do is event begin play, because we really like event begin plays, and we are going to make a loop again. So we're going to do a sequence. We are then going to do a gate. You're going to do another sequence. And we are going to do a delay. And we want this to like 0.1. Okay. And then we are going to comment all this. So C to comment, and we're going to just say loop. And then we're going to continue on to do the actual interesting bits. This just makes this happen, or whatever's off here, happen over and over again at every 0.1 second. So what we're going to do is we are going to do a Raycast. So instead of waiting and letting the creature basically see whether or not the player is rendering it, like whether the creature is being rendered on screen, we are going to instead do a Raycast. So line trace for objects? No. Line trace by channel. Okay. We are going to then get actor location. Get actor location. There we go. So we are going to start at the location, and we are going to end at the location, but of our player. So here we are going to get player controller. And this is only going to work for a one-player game. So get player controller, and then we want to get pawn. And we can get controlled pawn. Okay, so this is going to tell us whatever character or whatever thing the player's controlling, get its location and set that to the end. Okay. And then we're going to split that pin. And what we want to do is copy this. And we are just going to clean this up a little bit. Out hit actor, and we want to check if that is equal to this actor. Okay, so we're just checking, is the thing that we're hitting equal to the controlled pawn? Okay, we're going to assume that if it is not able to get a direct line of sight, it is not seen. And that's the assumption we're making there. You're then going to come off here and branch. And plug that in. Okay. Woo! Line trace to see if we're hitting player character. And actually, we should comment that. See line trace to see if hitting player character. Okay. And now we're going to do some inter-blueprint communications. So, in the last part, we made this game mode jump scare, and we put in a variable can move. Okay. So, we want to then go back to our monster, and we want to get game mode. Okay. We're then going to cast to GM jump scare, and we're going to right click and make this a pure cast. We're going to assume that it can always reach that game mode, or that we are not manually setting the game mode. And we are then going to get can move. Okay. And we're going to put this back here. We're going to copy it, because I did things out of order. And we're going to paste it back in, and instead of get, we are going to set can move. And there we go. And we want to pull off there. We want to Control-C, Control-V, copy that over. And we want to put in there as well. And what are we doing here? What are we doing, Toad? What we are doing is, once we run the line trace, we are going to set whether or not we can move. Okay, so blah blah blah, line trace is the actor that we hit equal to the controlled pawn. If yes, we want to set can move to 0. If no, we want to set can move to false, or to true. So our thingy can now move. Okay. So we want to do set can move. Okay. And that there is our can move for the whether or not the player can see things, or whether or not blah 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 this can see things. Okay. We want to add then another pin here, otherwise this is going to get very long. So we're going to add another pin to this sequence. And we are going to get a branch. Okay. And we are now going to take this that we copied and bring it on down, so we are getting the can move. There we go. So, if can move is true, we want to, I believe it's simple, simple move to actor. Okay? If can move is false, we want simple move to location. Okay? It's going to ask for a controller. We do not want to get player controller. We just want to get controller. Okay? And that is going to tell it what controller is currently controlling this pawn, or this monster. And Unreal has its own default AI controller that will automatically possess this monster, as we have not told it not to. Okay? And then we want to copy this, Control-C, Control-V, so we're getting the controlled pawn of player 1, and then we're going to put that in the move to actor. Just going to flip that around, flippity-flop, move it over there, and then out here we want to get actor location. Okay, so if it can be seen or cannot move, we are going to set it to move to its current location. So pretty much just stop. Okay. And we are going to highlight that, see, and movement. There we go. And we want to do another thing. We do want to do another thing. So, yes, what did we want to do? We want to go to game mode. We are going to duplicate can move, and we are going to do dark. Okay. And then over on our monster, we're going to add a branch just right here. Branch. And if it is dark, we want to do something different. So we are going to copy this. Actually, just the top bit. And off true, we want to move that and set that to true. Okay. And what this is saying is, if the current state of light is set to darkness, then we want to not worry about this line trace. Okay? So this is going to do the line trace. It's going to see, do I have a direct line to the actor? Okay? And then we are going to then check, okay, is the room dark? If the room is not dark, so that is going to be false. Actually, we need to copy those and get dark. And there we go. Just like that. So if the room is not dark, so dark is false, then we're going to check, okay, is the player in direct visible line? If yes, then we cannot move. If no, we can move. Okay? However, if the room is dark, we can move. Doesn't matter if the player's in a direct line, it's dark out. He can't see us, we can move. And then in here, we are then checking after all this is run, because that's what a sequence does, is run things one after another. We're going to say, okay, can we move? What was the consensus of all this? Yep, we can move. Go after the player's controlled pawn. Can't move. Okay, just stay right where I am or go where I am. And that should be that. Now, one more thing we need to do is head back over to our HUD. Go to the graph of our HUD, and we want to, again, get game mode. Oop, not game name. Get game mode. And we're going to cast to jump scare. Right click. Make that a pure cast. So convert to pure cast. And then we are going to set can move. Okay. And we are going to set that there. Oops. We want to break that link. I want to set can move to false. And then we want to Control C, Control V, get rid of that eye hydration thing. And then we want to move everything down that is past our delay. And we want to move this in just before our delay. So the blink curtain goes up. We say, yes, we can move while he's blinking. There is a delay. The blink goes away. We reset our eye hydration because, yay, we blinked. We can see and not be dry and scratchy anymore. And we set, no, it cannot move. There we go. And then the monster's going to decide for itself otherwise. Because even if we set, oh, it cannot move, it's going to say, well, are you in a direct line to me? No, well, I can move anyway. Is the room dark? Well, then if it's dark, I can move anyway. So it's going to always override that. That is decided by the monster's logic at a delay of 0.1 seconds. So let's do that. And we are going to put our monster out in the world. And there we go. And if I blink, does it get closer? No. Why is it not getting closer? Ah, because our AI doesn't know how to move. And I made this mistake earlier while testing this all out also. So now we want to go to volumes. And in here we want to search for nav. And we want to do a new nav mesh bounds volume. Yes, nav mesh bounds. We're going to pull that out. I'm going to set it right in the middle of the world. And then I am going to scale it. So we're going to scale it out that way. We are going to scale it out this way. And we are going to scale it up some, you know, just in case we had like stairs or something. And there we go. Okay, so anything inside there, the monster is going to try to find us. We're going to save. We're going to make sure that can move is off to begin with. Dark is off. Perfect. Okay, and when I blink, our monster should now get closer. Is he getting closer? I'm not seeing it. He is not getting closer. Okay. Why not? So let's go into our monster. And we are going to check here. So let's watch all this logic happening. We're going to play. And right now he's being told to stay exactly where he's at. Okay. And when I blink, he's still being told to stay exactly where he's at. Ah! Because it is still seeing that can move. Because it's still in line, it is saying can move is false. Okay, so there is an error in our code. So we want to go to our HUD and to our graph. And instead of checking can move, we want to set dark. Okay, because dark is the override. Because if it is dark, it doesn't care that it can see us, or that we are in a direct line with it, because it's dark, and we can't actually see it, so... Oh, we don't want to get dark, we want to set dark. Set dark. Straighten connection. We're going to set dark to false there, we're going to set dark to true there. Okay. Now let's play this game. So now... Ooh. It's coming for us every time we blink. And if we're staring at it, but our eyes start to get dry, as they're slowly getting drier, as you can see in the little corner, that slide bar going down. There we go. We manually blink, manually blink, manually blink. Haha! We've got a creature that's following us. And because we have it now set up to, instead of just moving to our position, it is actually using AI logic and a nav mesh, we should be able to, if I exit that, and grab geometry, and grab a box, well, anything really. So, the creature is going to check whether or not there is a direct line of sight between us. Remember, we set that up with the Raycast. So, if there's no direct line of sight, it's going to try to come after us. Okay, so let's set up a few walls and things. We'll go like that. We'll like bring that out like so. Just, you know, making our little house, because that's where the Weeping Angels chased everybody in the episode Blink, which was freaking fantastic. Doctor Who, if you don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so now... Oh, it came to the corner. And if I go over here, it's always just trying to get us. Oh, and then we automatically blinked. And we're going to automatically blink again. It's going to come for us more. And then it's going to come right to the corner there. Okay. So what we might want to do, instead of a line trace that is pinpoint and it can kind of get around the edges, or like we might want it that it can get towards the edges, we might want to do a sphere trace. So, sphere trace by channel. And it is the exact same thing. So we'd plug in our start position, we'd plug in our end position, except for now, we are going to go to our viewport, get our cube, and oh no, we're going to get our capsule component. And our capsule component's radius is 34. So we're going to set our radius to 40. So that way, it's, instead of sending a pinpoint line for its viewing, it's going to do at least something its own width for its viewing. Okay. Tracing by visibility, yes. So we're just going to plug this in here. We're going to plug this in here. And we are going to right-click our hit results, split pins, and we are going to get out hit actor and plug that in here. And we're just going to test this. We're going to leave everything else in place right now. Okay. So it was able to see us, or we were able to see it, I guess, is accurate. And I blinked. Okay. That is actually worse. So maybe we do not want the sphere trace. Well, that is something for you all to, you know, try to set up. Actually, it might be better to run this from the player character. So you could run the trace on the player character and then set the can move on the other end and have all this section on the player instead of the monster. That might work, because then we are working with the player's line of sight instead of the monster's line of sight. But either way, we've got a working prototype where that monster only comes after us when we can see it. Okay, I blinked right as that came around the corner. And then, like, if in shadows, we could do, like, a, some sort of, like, shadow setup, or, like, blinking lights, which, when the lights blink, it sets the world to dark, or sets the variable to dark, so the creature comes after us. And then we could also set the rendered here as well, because right now if we turn around, it can still technically see us. So we would want to put the ray trace on our player, kind of as a viewing cone, or we might want to do something else. We definitely want to do something else so that when we've got our back turned, like, we can either set a flag to be done on was recently rendered, like we did with the previous Weeping Angel tutorial, or something else of the such. But hey, if you put this together with the last one, then you should have the starts of a very nice little setup. So I hope you've all enjoyed. Again, if you've got any questions about the setup, thoughts or comments, or having issues, please let me know either in the comments below or over on our Discord channel, which the Discord server is always linked in the description. So again, please let me know if you need any help with this, and yeah, if you got any ideas of what I can work on in the future. So thanks again for watching. Hopefully if you liked the video, you will leave us a like, and maybe if you want to see more, or if you've got a suggestion and want to see the answer to your suggestion, or the video response to your suggestion, maybe you'll subscribe and we can get to whatever people want to see next. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.